Oh, hi. It's time for the 8-Bit Computer Club. So let's get started. It says the ad's going to start soon. I'm pretty sure I told it to not do that, but it's an ongoing issue here. But we're about to do the 8-Bit Computer Club. We're probably going to look back and see if Compute gets a reboot, and they did. First issue a while back. David, what's going on, my friend? Time to be on the lurk. Welcome to lurk. Please do it. I've been doing the same thing on Tonda's stream. I've been lurking it up, or as I like to call it, lurchy. But let's get this posted to the social media, and we will talk a little bit about what we talked about last week, and we'll talk about what we have planned for upcoming projects, including some projects you guys have updated me on in the Discord server, and we will look at those as well. But I hope you had a good week so far. It is Friday the 13th. So, how can you not think about Jason Voorhees? I don't even know how you would do it. How would you do it? Taz, what is up? What is going on? Yeah, I know we got a little print screen little thing. Just was like, I need to do something. It's like, quick, let's do our basic. Quick. Taz says, finally the weekend. Dr. Tolbert is here. What is up, my friend? Welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful week. It's finally coming to an end. It's been a pretty hectic week for me personally, but as always, I made time for my 8-bit computers. Many days I was away from the home and thinking about my Atari 800 and thinking about my Commodore 64 and the VIC-20, and that I still haven't had a chance to really get in and mess with this Tandy Coco. All things that occupy my mind when I'm on the road. I'll be thinking about things. A lot of the things I was thinking about this week were specific to sprites, especially on the Commodore 64. That is going to be part of my next scoping out. So I got to scope out what I want to do. And I got to scope out what I want to do for the project that I'm working on, which is to create a 8-bit computer game for the Commodore 64 by the end of the year. When I say create, I mean prototype. I mean, like maybe just a few proof of concepts just to progress along. So we got an ad break right at the top. So we'll be right back for those. We'll talk about the serious stuff when they get back. But I just wanted to remind everybody that Computes Gazette, you can still get this. And I'm re-upping I'm going to actually start my subscription, not re-up it. But I did grab the first issue. It's a reprint. I grabbed this a few weeks back, and I have on occasion over the last couple of weeks laid in bed and flip through it, and I feel like it is something that I want to move forward with. So I'm going to resub. Now Computes Gazette is in Texas. It used to be located up in Greensboro, North Carolina, where just miles away from where my dad lived, and I got to go up that way and drove by it. Didn't even realize it was there, but we recognized the road that it was located on many years later whenever I was doing some research about Computes Gazette. But it's been rebooted and it's now in Texas, but I won't hold that against them. Oh yeah, Scott, it's not. So was the old corporate headquarters in Greensboro not far from you, or is the new Texas headquarters? Scott, by the way, welcome in. Scott KMFDM. Hope you're having a good week so far. Mayor McCheese is here, by the way. Greetings from YouTube. Greetings from the YouTube. Just going to post this. The NC office. Yeah, my dad worked at Gilbarco at the time, so it wasn't that far from there. He kind of the corporate office was kind of between where he lived and then Gilbarco. So just right down the road from there. Very excited to be getting back into 8-bit computer after so many years away. As I took my career journey in graphic design and programming, and taking a couple of detours along the way, being the piece that always finds a way to fit in. If you work in technologies, especially in the maintenance part of it, or the programming part, development part, you've probably worked like me. You're pretty much a full stack developer, because I started out in the late 90s, helped set up an ISP, and operated within that system for a while. Started out as a help desk person, which was practically unheard of at the time. People really didn't know anything about computers. Boy, you think help desk is sketchy now, boy. Whew. But at least those people were motivated to learn. I listen to some tech support people now, and it's like, yeah, these people don't sound like they're motivated to learn. Just sounds like they want you to solve the problem, and in the future make it, just make it like how they expect, right? So let me. All right, I am just posting this. Oh, I don't have to. I do have to post this to the internet. I do have to post this on the internet, so that's what I'm going to do real quick. So like I said, I hope you're having a good Friday, Saturday, wherever you are in the world. We're going to talk a little bit about my journey, my project. Glad you're back from those ads, by the way. We didn't talk about you while you were gone. We just talked about Compute Gazette just very briefly. But we're going to get into our main discussions, which is going to be pulling up some projects you guys are working on, and also the stuff I've been at least trying to get my head around. I went back through and typed in, I did the type in from the, I think it's just the Commodore 64 user manual that kind of covers creating sprites, but it does it from a basic command. Essentially, it like injects that, it does peeks and pokes essentially. So it's kind of, it just kind of interprets like data lines that you used to type in if you ever did the old type-in games. And so I learned a little bit about that. Just really kind of going back over it from many, many decades ago, the last time I did something like that. And then I'm just trying to understand how is handled in general. I now am pretty sure that I understand that the Commodore 64 can handle 8 sprites. So it's got 8 sprites that it can use at one point in time, and those sprites are single color is 24 pixels across and 21 pixels in height, and that has to do with how what is that, 60? I think if you do the math, I think it's like 63 bytes, and so that kind of fits in with the how you handle memory and move stuff around on the Commodore 64. And been learning more about the VIC-2 chip, which is, the kind of the video helper part in the Commodore 64. I'm not going to get all this stuff right. I'm still learning a lot of this, and I don't want to like turn this into, the jargon show where Brian, has learned all the terms. I want to be a little bit stupid. That's right, Mary McCheese. Those support people now just want you to make it go. Could you just please make it go? Thanks, man. You're the best. So let's talk a little bit about what we're looking at on screen right now. We are looking at output from the Commodore 64 Ultimate, which I've shown on before. And the one good thing about the Commodore 64 Ultimate is FPGA. If you don't know what that is, we'll discuss it. But I think most of you guys probably know by now what that is. If not, you can probably look it up. But if you hold down the Commodore, so there's a couple of ways to get out of the typical load screen, the basic screen. So this is how you usually see when you load up a Commodore 64, right? You got basic. Of course, it may not be running this, but it's there. And so if you want to use some more of the layered functionality of this system, you can either hold down the little rocker switch that's on the side, which I think how they tell you in the instructions to hold down the rocker switch on the side, and it will go into a menu. Or the way I prefer to do it, you can hold down the Commodore key and hit the restore key, and what that'll do is bring up this screen here, this Commodore 64 Ultimate menu screen. And so I think if I just hit that button again, it'll take me back and it'll continue the running. I think it suspends it in the background. You probably can hear a little audio click. What that does is gives us access to different things. I don't have an internal SD card in here, which I want to do. There's only 3 screws in this thing in the front, like the old bread bin Commodore 64s. And you can once you open that up, you can insert an SD card in there, right? Typically, I just head over to the USB, which I usually have. I've got some stuff I've been writing for the 8-Bit Computer Club. What did I put in here? I don't remember. Jerry says, seeing Wi-Fi set up on a Commodore 64 is a bit mind-bending. Yes, so that's so this is the main area here. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. You got a Commodore file search thing. You can actually, there's an ecosystem they're working on. An ecosystem, is that right? There's a system by which you'll be able to basically log in and download software. And there's already some stuff there, but I think they're going to try to expand that. I hope they do. We talked a little bit about it last week during the meeting to talk about what they're going to do going forward, right? What is the new Commodore going to do to make themselves profitable enough to maintain a business? Because once they finish selling these hardware to all the people who've been wanting one, then what? Can't live on that forever. So memory and ROMs. So you can go here and you can define your kernel ROMs. By default, it uses the basic or the original ROMs you would have found, because this is FPGA, so it uses the original ROMs. It's probably just ROM dumps. But you can use if you purchase Jiffy DOS, you can still purchase Jiffy DOS even today. Some of you guys may remember Jiffy DOS, the Commodore 64 communication with the disk, like the 1541. It was pretty slow, and so Jiffy DOS improved that. And you can either experience the slowness that is still there by just leaving things as they are, or you can also play around with Jiffy DOS, because there are some quirks that people were able to take advantage of that is still relevant today. But I think I paid $25 for all the Jiffy DOS ROMs, I believe. And you would put it, if you don't know this, you would put Jiffy DOS on the Commodore, and you would also put it on your drive. And they had Jiffy DOS for the 1541, the 1571, and 1581. You also got options for RAM expansions and REU. You'll see that typically abbreviated in a lot of places, but that's what that means. It's a RAM expansion. You got a lot of stuff you can do with quality of life stuff. You can add some extra SID chips in here. That handles the audio. You can also do turbo boost. That's right. You could turbo boost your the 6510. You can turbo boost that bad boy up from, let's see what we got here. I can do I haven't even looked at this yet, but the manual, and look at that. You can you can overclock. You can overclock your poor little 6510. Just burn it right up at 64 megahertz. It ran at 1 megahertz by default. The 6510 in the Commodore 128 would do 2 megahertz, right? You could crank it up in the mode and get up there. So as you can imagine, look at that. That's insane. I don't even know what would even happen at that point. That's not even a project I'm worried about currently. I grew up in America, so I'm using NTSC. I have added the scan lines. It's for funsies because, that's how I am. I can also do palette definitions. There's a bunch of people out there who feel like they have a better handle on how the palettes looked. So I just stick with the default. Can also, I've got the ability to do the HDMI out, which is what we're looking at, but I also have the ability to do I've got these, it's got the regular video out on this thing too, so I can actually hook it up to a CRT, so I can do that as well. Audio setup, and but you were talking earlier, Dr. Tolbert, I believe, about the Wi-Fi and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so you can set your little Wi-Fi network up here, which I have done. And that's just nice and easy to be able to. I can transfer files, to my USB. Right. So what is going on? But there was modems and stuff during that time period, right? We can emulate those, right? I've tried to keep it somewhat. I've tried to keep it somewhat stock. I've played around with some other things. Oh god, my SD doesn't have path exist because I don't have it in there. That'll do it. Nukem, what is going on? Welcome in. So, well, how's your week been? Are we still? We're on a daylight saving time now. We're EDT. We're no longer EST, which is where I live. For the rest of the year is EST, Eastern Standard Time, but right now we're in daylight, so it's EDT, and I'm not sure what time it is for Zoe right now. I usually know because I know how to do the GMT -4. Right. That's right, Talbert. We do 5 the rest of the year. We do 4 when we advance. So off of GMT time, we are 4 hours off. I guess I could do math, right? Zoe says evening is great. Only 4 hours ahead of you instead of 5. Okay, so that's right. You are the GMT. You are the source of all time. All right. Hey, so that's enough of me. Like I said, I try not to make these too inaccessible to people who are wanting to get into 8-bit computing, because I don't know what everybody's comfort level is. I know some people are here just to hang out, which I love. And some people are here because it's just retro and they just want anything that's retro. Some people like to lurk and just like to, hear people have conversations, hear me talk to you and read back. We should put up text to speech as well at some point in time, kind of give you an online voice. But I also talked about bringing in Discord as well, and me talk one-on-one. I don't know if I want to do like we do for community events where it's like everybody's talking, but maybe 1 or 2 people at a time might be good. Philly Codehound, what's up? Yeah, so not quite 11 p.m. there yet. Oh, center of the center of all time. Yeah, and I can really tell you're the center of all time because you spell center with a CENTRE, which is very of your location, very of your location. And sometimes you know what? I pretty much abide by how we do it in the United States when it comes to spelling, except when it comes to theater. I just feel like theater should be theater. It should be the E should become the R, the E should be at the end of theater. I think it's the theatre. I think the theatre is where I want to go. Very British. Theatre looks wrong spelled the other way. It does. That's what I say. I see people spell it the way. I'm like, no, it's not right. That's the only one though. Nukem says, "Does your you're talking to Tolbert? It's broken. Oh no, Philly Codehound, how's it going? All right, so let's begin on our Discord server, right? So first of all, through the week when it's not Friday between 6:30 and 8:30 p.m. Eastern time or EDT time, we all hang out and discuss our projects on our 8-bit computers. Now, are we hardcore going, you can only talk about 8-bit computers? No. If you have like an NES or something, and you're working on some projects for that because they got some really great tools for making NES games and that sort of thing, or if you just got projects in general, we'd love to have you. Now, you know, if you're going, I like the PS5 and I like the, I'd be like, we'll make you a new group. We'll make you a new group. But, you know, we're not going to be hardcore. If you come up in here and you're like, I had a 286. Yeah, I want to hang out with you guys. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to be mad. But there is our Discord server. Philly Codehound, does the Discord link work in YouTube? I'm not sure. But I hope you guys get those links on YouTube, though. I think ReStreamBot maybe does it. If not, I think it does. Let me go take a look. Weremole, what is going on? Come and join Brian's Discord server. Look at Weremole. Thank you, Weremole. Mayor Machi says everything should be spelled how it's pronounced. Houdini7, welcome in. What is up? So not in YouTube. All right. Let me refresh that. I gotta get my YouTube game on, right? I gotta up my YouTube game. I really do. We've had a pretty good bit of growth over there. This will probably always be primarily a Twitch stream, but you know, if we suddenly, if something happened, you know, and Jeff Bezos really screws us over, you know, I'm not saying that we wouldn't jump ship to YouTube, but you know, for the most part, as long as things are still going as they are, I like it. I like Twitch as how it interfaces from a streamer standpoint. Weremole, what is going on, friend? So says we'd still argue on pronunciation. That's why phonics spelling would suck. Yes. It's so confusing too. Even though it's supposed to be the opposite of that, but sometimes it can get more confusing because I'm like, it should be basic here, but I'm like, no, it's not. Phlegm should be spelled phlegm. Yes. PH in it. Dan Anderton, what's going on, my friend? How's it going? All right. I am now seeing the Discord links. Maybe no. Okay, so I'm going to just... Wait a minute. Why is it posting my old thing? Why is my clipboard got some oldness in it? All right, let's see. But the reason why I posted that Discord link in there is because come join the Discord server and join specifically the 8-bit, your local 8-bit computer club channel. There we go. I posted it on YouTube as well. But do join us because we're going to take a peek right now, as a matter of fact. We're going to take a look at some of our discussions on there. So let's do that. First of all, let me get to the right channel because right now I'm sharing something with Tanda Casa that is top secret. I can't tell you what it is. It's top secret. I'm pulling a Scott. If you don't know who Scott Johnson is, that's my co-host on the Play Retro Show. And he likes to tease things and then make you wait for them. Oh, I see Before Tank Girl. Oh, no. Before Tank Girl sends her regards. She's got a parent visit. She's got a parental visit. So we're going to say that is awesome. Enjoy your time. We will miss you. But we will see you soon. Oh, hi, says Philly Codehound. All right, there we go. All right, let's get this pulled up real quick. Gotta get my I gotta improve my OBS skills as well. I got a lot of skills to improve. Tauber says like the word lisp. Who do you say is an 8-bit? Yeah, it is hard to say lisp if you have a lisp, right? That one is evil. Thank you for the follow, Logo Maker YouTube Editor 919. We're actually, that's good. That's actually spot on because one of the things I want to look at is a couple of different sprite editors that is on the Commodore 64. That is one of the first things I've got to do in creating my sprites. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I've been working on understanding how the Commodore 64 handles sprites. And I've learned a pretty good bit. I've already made a couple of mistakes in some of my early design stuff that I was just doing on my own. Just thinking in my head going, ooh, I'd do it like this, and then I would do this. And I would go read stuff. And I'm like, oh, the multicolored sprites, it says it's 4 colors. If I at first I thought it was just 4 colors, 16 colors you could use that you can select from, but 4 colors you could use. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But then I found out one of those colors has to be the background color that is behind it. So basically it does a no draw. So in order for it, the VIC-2 to draw that square, right, that 8 by 8, is it 8 by 8? Is that right? No, that's not right. 12 by, and it's stretched. So it's actually 24 by 21 pixels. So anyway, the point is this. There's really only 3 colors. There's really only 3 colors that you can use in the multicolor sprite, because one of them's got to be the background. I guess you could consider it the 4th color if you thought about the background as being part of the sprite graphic. But I discovered that, and I also discovered some things that like I kept reading just the basic stuff with sprites, but then I've learned some more advanced things along the way, and they're called raster interrupts. And so if you know what a raster line is, so when you're looking at a TV, that there's a beam that goes across on the old CRTs. This is when I say TV, I'm talking about of the time, right? So you get a beam that goes across, and it goes across and draws really fast, right? It goes back and forth, and that's the raster line. And so with a raster interrupt, you can actually tell the CPU, or you can actually tell when you're writing this about the sprites, you can tell it that when you get to a certain line being rendered. By the way, I think a line takes like, what is it, like 1 millisecond to render or something like that, and the CPU operates at like, I don't know, well, a lot faster than that. Anyway, the CPU operates faster than the raster line rendering, right? So you can actually interrupt the raster line at a certain point, and you can then basically feed data into the sprite registers, right? And change it on the fly. So I'm trying to learn all that, because I'm rendering a sprite and I want that whole sprite box to move, which is how they usually teach you. And then you've got things that are more advanced, but you have to do it at the assembly or machine language level. So I'm learning all that too. And all this stuff makes sense to me because I know a lot of the background ideas of how all this stuff works. So I'm moving at a pretty good clip of learning this stuff. So I apologize if I'm not very good at explaining it yet, but hopefully we'll get there. And hopefully even more enjoyable would be if you would just explain it to me. in the most simplest possible ways. But like I said earlier, I've been programming since I was 12 years old, coding of some sort. Always watching out for new languages. Every new language that comes out, I at least look at once it reaches to a certain, mass. I don't just go out looking for, any old language. I'm, once a language reaches a certain point where, people are discussing it quite openly, and people have all kind of got in the car, even if it's early on. I like to look at the language, see what it's doing, see if it's something that fits with what I like. Because there's only so many different types of programming. I mean, there's different languages, and you have to but the concepts, typically, there's only so many concepts out there. So, okay, all right. So I want to talk about this. David Akers sent the 8-Bit Computer Club, which is on the Club Mission Deep Discord server, sent an amazing link to one of David's favorite Atari demos. So David said it's by the same guy who did the music for Alternate Reality, The City, though I didn't know that until a couple years ago. I didn't know it at all. So we're gonna peek in at this real quick. So let's get this blown up and blown out, and we're gonna listen to one of these Atari. And I do have an Atari. I might load this up on my Atari. I'm hoping that it would run on my Atari 800, but we're gonna we're going to bring this up and take a listen. So if you're wanting to share interesting finds or projects or anything else, join the Discord server and take a look. Now let's get this pulled up and we'll take a listen to this amazing, shall I say amazing. Let's see, I want to go full screen. No, I don't want to go full screen. I want to go larger than that, but I don't want to. Okay, let's just, if we, nope, we can't. All right, can we do things here? Can we theater mode? That's what I'm looking for. Theater mode. There it is. That's what I wanted. All right. Oh, so this is for the 800 XL. We'll find out if I can do it later. Let's make sure that we're all right for our audio. I got that. Let's take a little peek real quick. And I'm not hearing it, so I may need to reload, or maybe, oh, it's a start. It wouldn't be no noise there. It's just at a screen there. All right, so this is David. David gave us this little tip. GraphTark, what's up? No, we could totally talk about 16-bit as well. We talked about that just briefly with that. We're not hardcore. Let's see if we're actually getting audio here. Okay, so I think I blew it here. So let me make sure that Windows has not updated anything. And yes, it did. Windows do be doing that. All right, so I bet now we'll get some audio. So let's go back to that initial screen. Very common interface look for the Atari 8-bit computers, right? Advanced Music Processor version 6.2 by Philip Price. Composed by Gary Gilbertson. Okay, so we got some visual graphics going on, right? And we got if you're not enjoying this, you don't have a soul. Oh, come on, an ad break? Come on, Twitch. Was that not just freaking amazing? So that was composed. Oh, wait, well, I wanted to pause it there, even though I do enjoy listening again. So this was composed by Gary Gilbertson, 1983, passionately. So yeah, I just love that. So thank you for sharing that, David, in the Discord server. That gave me great joy this past week, and you shared some more stuff too. I won't take you down that path, but David also posted another one called Alternate Reality, the City. So if you want to look that up, or if you want to join the Discord server and head over to the 8-bit computer channel, come on. And I saw a question earlier as well. I believe GraphTark asked, solely 8-bit or does 16-bit count? I know a guy making a Genesis game. Also, hello there. Absolutely. We are not going to snob out on some 16-bit action. Absolutely not. My hope is to hopefully not get entirely. My hope is to not get entirely locked into just 8-bit. I hope we can expand out at least to 16-bit. This is going to be a journey, and I want that to have a progression, right? So part of that progression is going to go into the 16-bit. So absolutely, if you have a friend who is working on a project, and if your friend wants to stop by, or if you just want to talk about your friend's project, totally do that. Stop in and share it, because I love all those projects. And there's a lot of stuff at the 16-bit level. You know, there's still a lot of crossover with the 8-bit world. Matter of fact, some of the 16-bit stuff you see is just, you know, it's really just 8-bit stuff with a trick. Welcome in. Give me some 16-bit action. But as you can see, I'm also trying to get better about meeting minutes, and I'm playing around with that as well. So maybe we'll have some meeting minutes there. I haven't decided if I want to do a blog yet. I kind of want to just kind of center my energy with this project in here for now, in this Discord channel, so that I don't get too distracted from doing the work, right? Which is going to be this game I'm doing. Let's look at Houdini 7 posting this animated version of Mario. I'm not sure how accurate it is. Is this the real one? Is this like the real shot by shot? Because this really informs me about some things that I hadn't thought about when I've been making my sprites so far. I really haven't considered, you know, like his head is kind of coming towards us because it's a shifting of the pixels to indicate that, you know, it's got a 3-dimension to it, and that's interesting. I haven't really thought much about that, because that is some really exaggerated running, but that's exactly what you need when you're talking about something that's very small on screen. Weirmo says, would this be a useful channel to keep an eye on for Commodore 64 Aquarius repair tips? Absolutely. So if there's any 8-bit stuff like repairs, because some of my projects are going to be hardware related, because before Tangirl sent me some great floppy disk and some cassettes, and I have a cassette player, but I've had to order some belts for it, so I got to do a little repair there. It should be very simple. I might have to do some cleaning too, but I don't know if you guys are interested in watching belt replacement and repair, but who knows? Maybe somebody's really dying for it. But I have two 1541s that are exhibiting the same problem, and we actually talked about it. I believe I got a few tips back on that. I was ranting. Oh, here's something that I was doing. So I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay with the original tools when I'm developing this, and the reason why is because I want to get a good baseline of the realities, so that when I talk about the new tools, I can have that baseline to say, oh, these new tools that we're using in a modern way are really helpful, because otherwise you had to use the old tools and they work like this, and the new tools work like that. So I'm trying to create a baseline of understanding of how the environment worked. And so I had created, but also because I live in the modern times, and I was at a doctor's appointment waiting, and I was like, hey, what can I do? I was like, I think I'll pop out, and I got a Pixel Studio thing on my iPhone. I'm like, let me just pop it out, and I was like, okay, I need, I know the width of the pixels and the height of the pixels and stuff. I'm like, all right, let me just try this real quick. And at the time I thought I could do 4-color, but I think really it's not that. And by the way, when I think of 8-bit sprites, I'm really inspired by the first 8-bit sprite that I saw that felt like it was an actual human. And that was Pitfall. So Activision's Pitfall on the Atari 2600 was probably the first time I saw a blocky sprite character that I recognized as, because up until then it was mostly like, I'd seen some arcade stuff, but I'm talking about at home, on home consoles and real 8-bit computers, and not that the arcades were that too, but that was all a mystery to me. That wasn't something that I had any I wasn't like programming anything on an arcade board or nothing. So yeah, the first real thing I saw when I was at home, I was like, holy crap, you can make characters. And Pitfall Harry was like, man, that looks like I can recognize that is a human. And that changed everything, because then I felt like I was actually in the game. Being in a spaceship and stuff like Defender and different games like that, tanks, all that kind of stuff, I didn't really feel like I felt like I was driving a vehicle. So it didn't really give me that personal feel. I felt like I was playing a remote control, whereas seeing somebody. So if you look at my sprite work, it's going to definitely be inspired by what I think I remember about Pitfall Harry. You made it. Discordia made it. Yay. Hey, Discordia, what's going on? How's your Friday going? Werewolf says, cool. At some point this year, I'll probably snag some console from that era that needs some repair from my grandmother's house and try and get them right again. Absolutely. Do that. And we'll try to help you a little bit. But back to the sprite work, like I said, so I was kind of excited. And then I found out, in multicolor mode, this is actually going to have to stretch it. So on the vertical lines, right, or each pixel like this way. So the sprite itself on the Commodore 64, so I've only got 12 here, and it's twice that wide the area is. And so what it has to do is it has to double these, so it has to double each of these blocks left and right, so my character looks big, wide, and fat. So I got to figure that out. And plus, like I said, I also don't have 4 colors to work with. I've only really got 3. And so I was learning that, and Bombats was popping back and forth and giving me a little bit of suggestions there. But Captain Kipper had popped in earlier because I was talking about my problems with my 1541. And it was the 1541 disk drive. No light. I'm sorry. Yeah, no light. No light. Just a constant spinning of the motor. Of the disc motor. So I looked at some troubleshooting stuff on that, and Captain Kipper kind of gave me a little hand up on a couple of things. So thank you guys for the support in the Discord server and giving some suggestions. It's nice to have some place to go to this that I could talk to people that I talk to on the often right. Discordia says Pitfall is my fave game on my television. It's also one of my favorites. I think it's just so much darn fun. And when I think about games, because I haven't decided on the genre yet, on the game that I want to develop. But I think it's probably gonna be in that area. So I was thinking about a couple of games that I really kind of dug. Let's take a look here to see what games I have on here. And do I have... Let me get a controller too. So we're going to play a few retro video games real quick to see if we can get inspired. Because that's how I do it. It's like, I need to be in... Because I didn't have like a moment where I'm driving down the road and had some kind of inspiration that's like, I just watched a frog cross the river, and wouldn't that be a cool video game? So I haven't had like a moment like that. I may eventually have something like that while I'm going down my journey, right? So I've got to be instead what I consider, I'm going to gorf it. What I mean by gorfing it is going, okay, I'm going to look at popular games. If you ever played Gorf, Gorf is kind of like a bunch of games in one, right? So they took the game mechanics of a bunch of different games and kind of reinterpreted it into a single game, and with the point being that all these other games had one game mechanic, and that was it. And so, it was always just, you beat the first screen and the second screen looks just like the first screen, maybe, or, but pretty much the same as the first screen, just faster and more. Faster and more, right? And so the big genius of Gorf was taking several different game types. Well, they're all like space shooters essentially, but taking the, how each of those functioned and turning them into one game with progression, right? So we're going to try to be inspired here. It's a couple of games that I've been thinking about that I feel like would be, on the surface, don't seem terribly difficult. Now, I'm not saying it's not difficult. Don't seem as difficult as it could be. So I'm thinking like Pitfall. I mean, it's the basics of it seem pretty straightforward, right? You start on one side of the screen, you go to the other side of the screen. You don't have to worry about screen scrolling, which is almost an impossibility because you could do some stuff like Nintendo got it figured out on the NES, right? With all the platforming and stuff. But I mean, you don't want to try to get caught up in that. So single screen games are going to be, it's going to be much easier. But Pitfall made it single screen games, but it was kind of like, okay, here's a screen with an objective. Whoosh. Here's another screen with the objective. Where's your character? He's always on the ground walking. And the things he has to deal with are like, right in the middle of the screen typically. And so it seems like the logic of that should be fairly understandable. And so I'm thinking maybe like a Pitfall type game. I don't want to get terrible. Do we consider Pitfall a platformer, right? I mean, right? I think so, right? In C class, what's up? 9 of 12, what's going on? One of the first things I ever programmed was a Columns clone. That was another one I was thinking about too. Columns. I was kind of thinking like something like maybe Balloon Fight or something. I kind of had like this idea the other day. I was like, oh, what if Pitfall, had like a floating mechanic, not the whole time, but like what if you could engage, because we're talking about controls that I'm going to want to do it with, either have to keep a keyboard with a few keys or a controller, 4-way controller with, let's just say 8-way controller, I'm not sure, anyway, with a single button punch, right? David Egger says definitely platformer. That's what I thought too, but I was trying to think of, I don't know, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if it fits in anything else. All right, so let's go look at games. These are the ones that came on the disc or the... do I even have that around here? I don't think I have it around here. There's a little... You could get like a little tape cassette looking thing that comes with your Commodore 64 Ultimate, which is what we're playing on tonight. And with it, you get a little USB drive with games and stuff preloaded. Let's just see... if let's just see if we're lucky enough to have something like Pitfall. Nope, I didn't think so. Look at that. It says ASS. I actually loaded Gorf on there though. I didn't think it'd be on there, but we could see. Let's just see what's over on the PAL side. Acid Runner, balls like a frog. Okay, I don't know what any of that means. Let's see here. GeoSwap disc. Let me make sure I don't have anything else in their exclusive. Let's take got some demos too. Let's take a look at these demos real while we're at it too. Bad Apple 64. AI Love You. Well, I gotta see what that is. Let's just check it out. GraphTruck says BBS. AI Love You. Okay. Oh, did it not run? Device not present error. Okay, sometimes this will happen. Let's see what... No, it should be there. I wonder what happened. I wonder if it's got... Okay, let's take a look. Hey, I love you. Enter... It's a D64. I want to run the disk. I wonder why it's not finding the disk. Device not present. Did I like... Was I farting around? Was that you? Let's see what the drive is. Okay, so it says it's off. Maybe I have to... You know what? I think I turned it off when I plugged in my 1541 and was doing some testing. So I turned off the internal emulated drives for the other. So that's on me. That's me. I did that. Discordia says it's like the quintessential platformer. I know, but then I was thinking, is it? All right, Sparkle supports only one active drive. Please turn off everything else on the bus. Dadgummit. All right, so and I just did that. All right, so let's get it back in here and turn off drive B. And then let's do, we need to reload it. We do. It'll automatically reload. Oh, Nuke says nothing from the USB drive will load up my Ultimate. Odd, everything else loads. Interesting. I wonder why is doing this dump. So either it really did dump, or something else. Really? So you're nothing from the USB drive will load up on my Ultimate. Everything else loads. Interesting, Nukem. GraphTark says, do you have to mount it first? So the way this is set up, if it does the run, it should automatically do it. So run is a command in the Ultimate that mounts and runs it all at the same time. So we could just mount the disk and see if we could have our own little, oh, well, probably need to restart this thing real quick. We'll power reset. And you can do this with the button too, but I don't particularly care for the button on this thing. It's very stiff. I don't care much for it. And there's many more options on how you want to restart it, because you can actually restart, clear menu. There's a bunch of different things you can do that the single little button doesn't do. So that's just me. I like doing it like this. I like doing it like this. Bad Apple 64. I have to look at that one next. If not, okay. Oh wait, we got an info text. How can we read that in here? Okay. AI Love You was released. Oh, so this is a real recent thing. I wonder if I got to do something special. It's a D64, which means that should run. Let's mount the disk. We probably have to add some more memory. That's what I'm probably got to use the memory expansion, because the way it just operated, it looks like it dumped some stuff onto the screen, probably meaning that it didn't have place to load all of it into memory, and was just like, I'm gonna put it right over here too. I'm just gonna override everything. You're welcome. Where are you starting it? I'm gonna start right here because I expected it to have more memory. Too bad. So let's take look at configuration. Let's see, where's it at? I have to go back out here. I'm not quite sure where that is. So let's just enable this at the 2 megabytes. I think that's the default. I think I actually turned that off. And then let's go back in here. Go in here. Go to demos. This is what some people are doing now. And I'm just going to run it this time again just to see now that I've had that RAM expansion. Oh, did I turn off the... I didn't turn off the first one. Did I? Did I turn off the first one? Did I do that? Yeah, I was hoping the info text would tell me. Yeah, almost every platform had like a platformer, right? Okay.
Hello, friend.
Yeah, we got some more we're gonna have to do here. So probably have to look up some more information on that. Oh, thank you, Drexton Von Greybeard. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a good Friday, Saturday, wherever in the world you are. We're just having a little 8-bit computer club. Missed a lot of chat moments. Zoe says, Brian, which computer? Oh, no, that's not. That's much older. That is a good question. Are most similar to each other? Oh man, C has so many cousins. Man, it's just so many with C. I would probably say, you think maybe C has the most cousins of any programming language? That style of programming. Whatever happened to Screensaver, says Fish Dicks. I loved Johnny Castaway. You should create a ripoff of Johnny Castaway. Oh, interesting. Discordia says, oh, let me see. I've been bad about checking the Discord lately. Not much bandwidth. Yeah, I hear that. Bad Apple is famous demo used to show off the capabilities of the hardware. Okay, let's do that one, Tonda. Let's see if that one just gives us joy. just for being, right? Let's just see if it, there's a text file. Bad Apple 64 was released on the 29th of June 2014. Check out more. Distributed with. Got some algorithm notes. Over 6,000 unique frames. Run at 30 frames per second. The first step was to decimate these frames to around 22. Each chunk 128 frames. 16 by 16. Man, this has got some. We're just going to try to run it. Okay, so this is really interesting, though. Some of the. On average, it's 30Q. So it sounds like it's using just the source stuff, resulting in the whole 128 bytes being packed to around 10K. Okay. So maybe it's just like trying to make use of what's there. All right, let's run it. Let's find what happens. Oh, Zoe posted a scarf update with our Doctor Who. Yes. Drexton says, been listening to Play Retro for a long time now, but first time catching your stream. Woo! Come on in, Drexton. How's it been going? Pretty excited about next week's Play Retro. We're playing, we just got through playing Paper Mario, which I'd never played. But this next week we're switching it and making it dark. Gonna do some do some Blade Runner, another game I have not played yet. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'll have to take a look at that scarf update. Did she post it in the general or did she post it in the makers section? Let's see. And are you okay with me showing that? Oh, got some severe storms. Oh, thank you, by the way. Flying Out joined the Discord server earlier, so thank you so much for that. Hope you're joining the 8-Bit Computer Club channel. Maker General, maybe? Let's see. Where did she post that? Zoe says I tagged you in the crafting area. Okay. And this is on the Mission Deep server, right? And not on the Frog Pants server? Let me see. Oh, I see it. I see it now. I gotta mention. Oh, interesting. Why is? Oh, we got a suggested one, and no one's actually put the suggested one into place for the crafting corner. Why not? I'll kick that on over. I will kick that on over. So we got some amazing makers in our community, and Zoe is one of them. And Zoe has been kind enough to make me a Tom Baker Doctor Who scarf. She's been working on it for quite a while now, I believe. Really very short time for how long it would take me. But I think maybe this is probably taking just about average, maybe. But I love it. I love this so much. I love your little bacon over there too. I am so excited about this. I cannot wait to meet up with you and to look at the quality on that thing. Look at the colors. That is a work of art. I am going to have some jellies around me. There are going to be some very jelly people around me. I hope we find a way. I'm going to about 2 months. That is crazy. Well, that looks amazing. I can't wait to see it in real person and put it around my neck. I'm going to, I don't know what the weather will be like when we go to Nerdtacular, but I'm going to make my room frigid frosty, and I am going to walk around. I'm going to get me a Tom Baker hat on the way, and I'm going to walk around, and I'm going to use my electronic screwdriver, and gonna hop in a TARDIS. But I love it. Travis will have the identical one, which you've already finished. Yeah. Oh, then I can't let me and Travis can't be in the same room at the same time. Then can we? Or can we? Maybe we need to do pictures together. Yeah, super jiggly jellies. Isn't that awesome? We have so many amazing, talented people in our community. It's ridiculous. I could throw a dart at the chat room right now or the Discord server and just hit an amazing community member who just makes just crazy stuff. There's so much talent. I love it. So you are super fast too. Let me tell you, that 2 months. I mean, that thing is, that's fast. Zoe says, but I can't program computers like you. Yeah, well, that's my skill. So stay out of my lane. Tonda says, don't throw darts at us. Tonda, I'm so excited. You guys have no idea. Oh yeah, you got to. So Drexton, thank you so much. Drexton Von Graybeard, it just joined, and gave us a follow. I appreciate that. But you are in for a treat. I'm going to give you a spoiler of our upcoming episode of the Play Retro Show. One great community member. I'm trying to remember if they told me I could say their name. I'm going to say their community member name, which is Leloup. Leloup sent thought hard and long about what they wanted to do with their Atari Jaguar. And they had heard me talking about that being on my list for things. And we do try to do a preservation of equipment. And I give these things, you know, I give them the once over. I clean them. I cap them if they need it. You know, and I just get them back up to functioning, and then I explore it and talk about it on the Play Retro Show. But I take those and I, you know, put them in nice little containers, and preserve them. And I like for that person, if they fill up to it, this is a big ask, to share what the piece of equipment meant to them. And Leloup wrote a wonderful letter, and I look forward to sharing that at some point. But let me see if I can. I'm going to pull up what Leloup sent. It's still boxed up in the other room, but it's an Atari Jaguar. It's on my I can't wait to get that list forever. So I'm going to show you real quick here if I can get that. Is it the right one? Yeah, let me take a look here. Beep, beep. There we go. All right, so this is what we have in the box in the other room. It is a Jaguar, so you can see it's Jaguar. It's got the Jaguar CD as well. Also, all of these games, some we covered Bubsy. Can't wait to play some Tempest. But if you don't know anything about the little cards and stuff too, Leloup was kind enough to put those cards also in a container, so they're all saved. Got Alien versus Predator. Did we cover that one yet? I'm not sure. But we got that Doom over there. But this is amazing. Some Dino Dudes. I think I briefly talked about that in one of our other episodes. Got some Wolfenstein 3D, right? And also has some CD stuff. Now I grew up during this time era, right? The Soundgarden, Metallica, Aerosmith, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm interested in this VidGrid thing as well in Space Ace. My dream is, and my hope is, to get this thing running to 100%. Make sure everything is good to go. And clean it up and bring it with me. I'll probably send it ahead. I'll mail it ahead of time, so that maybe we can play with this. I can't guarantee it, but that is my hope. Because if you're like me, a lot of us didn't get a chance to play with the Jaguar, and that's part of what we're kind of doing here. Is a little preservation, but mostly I'm not interested in preserving things so that we can, you know, accrue value of a collectible or anything like that. I don't put things in, you know, unopenable containers with prices on them, right? I want them to be functional and to stay functional as long as possible, and allow people the opportunities to get their hands on them and experience some of these legends. So I just thought that was exciting and fun, and so I just wanted to share that with you guys. There we go. All right. Where was we at? Oh, we're still loading this thing. And for some reason, once again, I don't know. I've tried so many different things with the ad breaks on Twitch. I'm at a loss at what I'm supposed to do, because I really have. I've set it to everything that I can think of, and I've taken tips from other people, other streamers, people I trust. And I've looked up online, and I've made changes, and I have yet. It is not. I'll take it back. It has one time listened to what I said, and then it just goes back to the default, which is I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. Nukem, does yours do that as well? No matter what I do, I'll change something, and occasionally it'll take it. It'll be like, oh, I think that either that or I think it took it, and it didn't really. But yeah, okay. So it's not just me, because I'll make changes, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want any ads for the first 3 hours. Or I don't want any ads for, not the first 3 hours. I don't want any ads for the first 30 minutes, right? And it just does whatever it wants to do. It just does whatever. Look at Discordia. Discordia is just like, hey, look, your ad problem's a problem, but not if everybody's subscribed. So Discordia just gave out those 5 community subs. So hopefully you guys won't have to watch those videos, those commercials anymore. So enjoy your ad-free viewing for the month. Project Barrow, Coda's Kitten. I'm gonna go Coda's Kitten. I bet that's what it is. Chris Vala, Jinxed King, and Miller Time 12. I gotta see Miller Time in a minute. But Discordia, thank you so much for that. Oh, you're super awesome. Thank you for your Zoe was telling you were super awesome. You are correct. You are super awesome. Thank you for being the hero of the night. We do appreciate that. We got makers and heroes and everything. September, how's it going? How are you doing? Look at that. The ad is over. Yeah, that'll end the ads for 5 people at least for the month. So thank you for that. Yes. I don't know. I wish I knew why the ads just do whatever. I'll tell you this, though. This thing is still going, so I'm not sure what I should be expecting because, sometimes things do just take a really long time, right? Oh, but this is fun. So this is one thing you can do. So if you have a SID file, you can just play it directly from the Commodore 64 Ultimate menu, right? So it's got its own little player, right? So we can at least enjoy the music. Interesting. Says the system is the NTSC, but the SID is the PAL. Both had the same memory location. Both had this chip number 6581. Tonda, I was running it, but I wasn't sure how long. I wonder, does it take to load up? I mean, it's a 1541, so it definitely could take too long. So let's try this. So one thing that would improve speed, we talked about this earlier. We paid for it. Might as well use it. If you have questions on how to do this, this can improve your experience. So we can use the Jiffy DOS, which you can still purchase today. $25 will get you all of the Jiffy DOSes, right? And so that's great. Listen to this. So Nukem has gone through the paces already, asking support about the ads. Support told me a few months back there is an update plan to fix the issues I had, including Wi-Fi use. Oh, that's great. So maybe did they mention what bug that was by chance, so I can track it or anything else? Nukem, you don't have to answer, but if you got some more information, I'd love to know it. All right, and so you would need Jiffy DOS if you were doing this to improve performance. No answer on that, Nukem. Okay, that figures. Yeah, it tracks. So we're going to use the 1541, which is the disk drive we typically use, and we're going to save that to flash, and then we're going to go back into our file browser. And so now we should be running, and normally we're going to restart for good measure, even though we don't really have to, but I'm going to do it anyway. And just to see if we get a Jiffy DOS up screen, right? Because that's what I'm hoping for, because you should get a different screen here for Jiffy DOS. I wonder if I should have done a full reboot. I just did the other. Let's take a look here. I'm going to do power cycle, complete power cycle, because I'm not sure exactly what that one power does. So let's check this out. Doesn't seem to really blown up that Jiffy DOS. Did I do everything? Did I also turn, because we've seen the 1541 disappear a couple of times as well. Let's make sure that that's on. All right. And let's turn this one on too. I don't usually do that, but we can do that. And the ROM, did I turn the right ROM on for it? Let's just go ahead and make sure that we have it on both of these. Okay, so we've got that. Does it have to be the 2? That does say 2. I wonder if that needs, what does it matter, because this says the 1541, right? So, I mean, it's going to be the 1 or the 2. Let's just go take a look at the drives. Okay, that looks like that's right. Drive type, yep, it just goes the 2. And the ID is 8, which is what you'd want, because you have, remember that command, right? Load 8. Extra RAM. I don't think we need any of that stuff, do we? Okay. That looks like it should be right. I have both of them turned on with weird turbo boost or nothing, right? I don't think so. All right. Double check that's there. Let's do a reset on that. Don't know if that will do anything. I mean, when we do the reboot, I would assume it would reboot everything, but maybe that needs its own reboot, maybe? Yeah, let's find out. Let's find out. We've clicked and clacked all the things. That has to be the answer. There's no other answer left. Oh, no. Well, there is one more answer. I can take my little finger right here and go rock this little rocker switch and maybe get some kind of different result. Isn't that how insanity works? Let's find out. Let's push it down way hard. Let's push it all the way down, waiting a couple of seconds, letting it completely power off. And then here we go. It's got to work, Discordia. What choice does it have? It has none. So let's bring it back up. Watch it go through its little light cycles there. Whoop. And nothing again. Interesting. So I wonder what other things we might have done that could be caused. Now, did I put it in the... It is, you know what? Oh, that's right. I'm not thinking incorrectly, am I? It's the Jiffy DOS, right? I mean, so, I mean, it's got to be the DOS. I put it in the right spot, right? I mean, it goes there, right? Does it go in the kernel? Does it be in both places? It's not the kernel ROM, right? Jiffy DOS doesn't work. It works in the... That doesn't make any sense, but I'm also trying to make sure I'm not... That's not right. I mean, it doesn't replace it. Does it need to be in both the kernel and the... That doesn't make any... What does it? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, something's odd with this one, right? I've had it working before. Weremole says, it's not there. It worked. So it's the kernel ROM and not the basic ROM? I guess that makes sense. Yeah. But it was optional under the... How is it even optional underneath the basic ROM then? Because it can probably take a ROM file and it saw it there? But it doesn't show that one for the others. Didn't show the other types of... I'm not sure. Weremole says, it's not Colonel ROM, it's Colonel Sanders. Gentlemen, what's up? Love my old Commodore 64 128. Did you ever play the TGIF game? I did not. Please tell me all about the TGIF game. I'm assuming it's Thank God It's Friday game. And I am down. I have a Commodore 128 as well, a real physical one. And right now we're playing on our Commodore 64 Ultimate Starlight Edition. But yeah, I got several Commodore 64s. I got a VIC-20 back there. This is begging me to play with it. It's like, hey man, you haven't talked to me like in a month. And I'm like, I know, I've been busy. And it's like, whatever. Discordia says this is like me trying to figure out Tableau for work. Yeah, it's like troubleshoot. It's like that doesn't make any sense, but I'm sure it will later. When I have a chance to really sit down and think about it, I'll probably be like, yeah, that's right. But you know, right now it doesn't make any sense. Gentle N says was by Avalon Hill, and it was a digital board game, 1 to 4 players. If you don't have a friend with you, it asks if you want computer to play and goes. Commodore will play. Ooh, I like this idea. I like that. And it was called, once again, I need to put this, so TGIF game. I need to put that to memory and look that game up. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to go search for it real quick. TGIF game. Where are your go-to places for Commodore 64 game information. I'm not asking for ROMs. I'm asking for game information. So I usually like to go to Lemon 64, which is a great place to go. It's one of my favorite places to go to, but it's community driven. It's got, but it does have information lots of times about a lot of other things related to it. I also have a subscription to Moby Games, which has a pretty good bit of information about Commodore 64s and other things. And maybe we'll just take a quick peek at this video.
I guess I
was hoping I could get one with no commentary. But Gentilin, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you for that suggestion as well. Let's see if we can find a non-talky. Oh, here we go. So Lemon 64 does have some information about it. So let's do just that. Little one needs to, absolutely go take care of the children, please. Controller recommended if you landed on a day that caused treasure hunting. Oh, that sounds interesting. All right. Oh, that we're still got the Jaguar pulled up, and let's get over here. This is lemon64.com. It has all kinds of great information, and it does give a score ranking to these different games. Oh yeah, this looks nice. I like this. Okay. Oh, I like that. Like those graphics, man. Look at that. Look at those. Yeah, I got a little radar thing. Okay, so you got some treasure hunt. Oh, I like this. We'll wait for Jen Lin to get back, and maybe after the diaper change, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that. What was this little thing for Revolutionary C64 preservation and emulation package? I've been intentionally avoiding getting on here and getting too inundated with modern tools and modern creations on the Commodore 64, so that I can kind of keep my mind in where I need to be, which is authentic experience of early 8-bit computing. I will move beyond that eventually, but I need to build up a baseline of understanding, which I experienced like the end user part, but not the developer part. So if you're ever wondering why not using modern tools that are so much better to work with, because I was a 8-bit computer user and I programmed a little bit in BASIC like we all did, because everyone had to have some knowledge of making your own tools and programs, or typing in programs during the 8-bit era, until we started getting floppy disk in our magazines. But even then, you may not have had the money for a 1541 or something like that, because those were as expensive, and not more expensive at the time, than the computer itself. All right, what was we doing? Oh, so we got Jiffy DOS running. So let's get back into seeing how this works. Let's see if it loads. And like I said, I may have just been impatient. I may have been too impatient for this game, or this demo. I'm sorry, we're looking at demos, weren't we? All right, so Bad Apple 64. I'm going to do that, and we're just going to run this disk again. And this time we're going to use it with Jiffy DOS, which should improve speeds up to, what is it, like 10 times or something like that. Nukem says, to this day, the count on Vic scared me to no end. Watch playing at night, hearing the RF interference through the TV speakers, chills. I love that. So yeah, let's see. Which game was that? Oh, so using the I need to get one of the bat controllers like that. Those old bat-looking controllers. And we're talking about the bat controller. Is the reason why it was called a bat is because it was skinnier at the bottom and larger at the top. It wasn't like shaped like a bat, but it was, the joystick was just had a bat shape to it. But otherwise, the Count was one of Scott Adams' text adventures. Okay, interesting. So, but it also had, did it also have audio cues as well? I got to really play some of the Scott Adams text adventures. I am not anywhere near prepared to create a text adventure, but that may be something we do. Scott seemed to be pretty interested in maybe looking at doing a text adventure at some point. That's what he's excited about. And I'm like, we'll get there. we'll get there. But first, I need to take the low hanging fruit, which is going to be maybe something boring like a platformer. But to me, I don't think if you could do interesting things in a platformer like Pitfall. But what made it interesting was just how many screens did it have? How many screens were on Pitfall? I know it was a memory limitation, but each screen, it was just so smart the way you could do it. You could tackle it left to right, or you could go right to left, and there was enough variation in environmental obstacles. When you would go to screen, that it kept a momentum to it that kept you engaged, and it had like sound cues at certain points that would make it exciting. Like either maybe you stepped into a log and it goes, and then you'd also when the computer was just rendering the situation and not taking input. Like when you're going across the ropes across the over the waters and stuff, you're going little sounds like that, but just perfection. 255 distinct scenes. So so that makes sense. 255 distinct scenes fits right in with your 8-bit typical 256, 255, according to what they may need to pad out or buff. So David says, I post a pic of the Wiko bat. Okay. In the Discord. All right, let's take a look at that while this is still trying to load in the background. It's supposed to be, Tonda said it was supposed to be kind of a testing your system kind of thing. Like it was like, hey, let's see what we can really do here. And so it may be a long load. But we tried to limit that a little bit with our Jiffy DOS here. So let's take a look. It's in a book. It's a reading rainbow. I can go. Still amazed by that scarf. So if you're still around, looks so freaking good. But if you're not part of the Discord server, please join the Discord server and you'll get a chance to talk to us all throughout the week. Oh, wait, I just heard it stop. Cranking the disc, but it's not doing anything yet. Brian, my Ultimate does this also on all demos on this USB cassette. VIC-64 plays them without issue. Interesting. Okay. Let me see here. Avian, what's up? Yeah, we're looking at TGIF. We just got Gentlein. Just gave us a hint on that. We're going to take a look at that again in a second. First, we're going to take a look at this Wiko baseball bat. Oh, but I guess it is showing right now, isn't it? So we did look it up. Gentlein, we looked it up and we've got it bookmarked. It is on Lemon 64 for information purposes, and I'll try to get a hold of a copy of this and we'll check it out. Pretty cool, yo. All right, let's see. Nope, that's the wrong one. Elgato capture card, there it is. Yeah, this is the bat. This is the one. This is the GOAT, right? So here's your baseball bat type controller. Always felt really good in the hands. I like how it always felt. I need to get another one of these. I had one at one point in time. And I've got a couple of quick shots as well. Quick Shot 2. I love the quick shots. Those are really cool. But yeah, the Wiko bat is a phenomenal controller. And let's go see what eBay is selling these things for. Now, is this yours personally, or was that just a picture of it, David? Let's see. Jinlin says, I may be able to send the 5 1/4 diskette, but there are a lot of places these days for reference. Very cool. Yeah. I got to get my 1541. I have two 1541s, and they're both currently down, so I got to get those functional again. But thank you, Gentlein. I actually have a bunch of blank floppy disk as well. Let me see here. Wiko bat controller. Oh, yes. I'll take you along for the ride as well. If you want to come along with me. Come along with me. Boo. I got too many songs in my head. That's an inch. That's like oh, they got some kind of like padding around that? Is that? I don't recall it. Were there ones with this, or did somebody do this afterwards? I don't remember the foamy stuff at all. What was the Wiko Command Control Bat? Was that a thing? Did I always just have one that the rubber stuff had rubbed off, like the foam, or was there some that did that? Come from eBay, though I had one in storage. Okay, very good, David. I think the official name is Wiko Command Control. Yep, that's the one we're seeing now. Taz says, how's your eBay experience been with buying retro hardware? I've been trying to find if I can find some PS5 stuff there, but haven't used it for tech. I have some pretty good success. I can't complain. Oh, but they're out of town though, right until the 16th. I kind of dislike that. I dislike it when they go out of town. It's like, why then just don't post it. Scream Revival, what is up? Thank you so much for that follow. Welcome in. We're just looking at the Wiko bats. Does anybody remember it being always got to protect your bats, says Jared Tolbert? I've never seen a padded bat like this. I'm assuming this is just something somebody did, or was there a version that they sold like that? They always look like this to me. So all the rest of them look like the normies. I guess somebody just like, I wonder if there's any benefit to that. Is this felt good to somebody? It kind of looks perverted, to be honest with you. I don't care for it. Hey, we try to keep it PG around here. All right, but yeah, not too bad. So, not too bad to get me a new one. I haven't owned one in a while. Look how good these things hold up. Look how well they hold up. They just really look fantastic. And this one says it's tested for $16.99. Usually what I do when I do these, I try to find one that's kind of close. Oh, got two. That would be nice. They're untested. Yeah, but these things are pretty, yeah, from Ohio. Yeah, maybe. All right, perfect. Zoe, thank you so much. You heading to bed? It was good seeing you. Thank you for sharing the update on the scarf, the Doctor Who scarf, the Tom Baker. I'm looking forward to that. Scream Revival says, was just listening to Play Retro and heard you talking about this stream, so I'm glad I didn't miss it. Very good. Welcome in. I got some exciting news. I shared it with everybody earlier, and if you guys want to take it, I'll let you see too. This is the benefit to showing up and hanging out on the 8-Bit Computer Club. Sometimes I will give you a little taste of what I'm looking forward to on the Play Retro show. Something I'm going to talk about in the pre-show, or actually the intro part of the show this next week. We've got, let me take a look here. So we have Leloop was kind enough to send me to put into my care a Jaguar with a Jaguar CD and a couple of controllers and some really awesome games. And so I'm looking forward to talking about this. I'm going to unpack it this weekend and go through it. Look at that. We got some Space Ace. I'm very excited. Yeah, I've never owned or played a Jaguar. So, and I've definitely never done anything with the CD stuff. I've at least seen operational some standard Jaguar systems, but I've never seen an operational CD. So I'm interested in how that's going to work out. But yeah, a community member was kind enough to send this and put it in my care, and I'm hoping maybe I can bring it with me to Nerdtacular. We'll have to take a look. The toilet, says Nukem. I forgot some people call it that. Yeah. Ghetto Finger Gaming, what's up? Welcome in. Welcome to the 8-Bit Computer Show. Oh, ye old Jaguar. I remember renting that from the local rental place. Very good, Gentilin. Yeah, I worked at Blockbuster for a while. I don't think we ever rented out Jaguars, but we definitely rented out the NES, the Super NES, and the Sega Genesis. And people come in and rent the systems for a weekend, and it was always fun. Avian says, odd question, Brian. Did you recommend Once We Were Spacemen? It seems Alan Tudyk is your lost brother. I love Alan Tudyk. He's so good. Did I ever recommend that, Once We Were Spacemen? I don't remember if I did. But I do love some Alan Tudyk. Once We Were Spacemen. I'm trying to remember. Once we were spacemen. That might have been when I was going down a rabbit hole of, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I ever talked about it or not. But yes, did you get a recent? Did you get a chance to listen lately? I just found that show, says Draft Heart. Yeah, podcast with Nathan Fillion. So you listened to the Felicia Day episode. Yeah, I like Felicia. She's so nice. She kind of runs in our. She's kind of in our outer circle of podcasters. She's great. Actually, I saw. I was in a thrift store the other day, and I was very tempted. They had it in the case though. I wasn't interested in getting out of the case, but they had Dr. Horrible in a case, like where you had to like ask for a key. And I was like, nah, wait. Avia says Alan was running off the leash and Nathan just let him go. Do it. I love that. It's another great Tudyk jam. He's such a wild guy. Tucker and Dale versus Evil is so good. And I had a friend who recommended it forever. That was actually, you guys remember? You remember the recommendation, right? Come on, you remember Nicole recommended the crap out of that constantly. And I think some of you guys too. Fillion and Tudyk just did dropping names with Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner. That's great. Jonathan Frakes has been showing up in my feeds a lot lately. Might have been Recommendals. We've all kind of talked about it behind the scenes a little bit. So I don't know if I suggested or if one of the other guys suggested it, but yeah. It was an amazing episode. All right, I'll have to check it out. Because I'm always down for some Alan Tudyk stuff. So it looks like it's just stopped, right? So this demo is not working. I would like to at least get one of our demos working. But I did right out of the box when I got my Commodore 64 Ultimate. Now, look, the Christmas demo has to work. I mean, that's like the lowest hanging fruit, right? I mean, if you can't get your little Christmas tree lit up and sparkling and playing some Christmas music, then what's the point? Maximum Effects recommend that the audio output be connected to a high-quality sound system. I gotta hook it up to my hi-fi. Run continuously, run once, sit and wait for any key. All right, so let's try this. We would just verify the demos will actually work with our Jiffy DOS. We at least made it through the first couple of screens. Wonder if it's having trouble beyond that. Wonder if there's some kind of interfacing problem with like the VIC-2 emulation or something. All right, press the key to start. This is totally out of season, but hey, who doesn't love a good Christmas in March? Did I say Jonathan Frakes? Jonathan Frakes. Jonathan Franks? Jonathan Frakey? You're back with food. Bring in some Discordia. Man, I'd love to have some. This isn't really as Christmassy as this holiday. Oh, I love this. I love that. That was awesome. All right, so that type of demo worked. Ooh, basil fried rice. All right, so it does seem to work. Come on, another ad? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All right. So I think let's get down in here. Let's look for something interesting. Incoherent Nightmare. That feels like our life lately, right? Multiverse, Mojo, Old Men, and Used Cars. That one is just inviting me for some reason. I don't know why. Of course, Soiled Legacy. That also sounds interesting. Soul on Fire. Well, I gotta. Oh, the X-Files. All right, the X-File. I gotta look. I gotta look at the X-File. Come on. I am of a certain age, and I must see if I can get some Dana Scully in my life. Right? Rathbone says. Oh, I don't know. Did the ad decide not to come? Who is this Jonathan Frakes you referred to? Quoth the Raven. Man, this has been just such a great experience, you guys, just doing this 8-bit computer club. I keep wanting to formalize stuff, and I'm like, oh, we need to do this and this, and I just want to take it to a production level like I do all my podcast stuff. And I'm trying not to do that because I don't want this to become a distraction from the point, which is to make connections and make video games on 8-bit systems, to explore it. For those who don't know, what I'm trying to do, this 8-bit, your local 8-bit computer club, I don't have a local 8-bit computer club. I've asked around. I can't get the interest that's needed. We just don't have a dense enough population. Dense is in population numbers and not as in attitude. Scott, what's up? Thanks for the follow. Scott, how are you not following me already? Or was that a sub? Avian just submitted 30 bits. Avian used 30 bits. Well, why did it say about Scott? What was that all about? Maybe that was on YouTube. Was that on YouTube maybe? Need membership cards to put in our pocket protector, says Dr. Tower. We do. So for those who don't know what I'm doing, when I was 12, I got my first Commodore VIC-20. And then not long after that, I got my Commodore 64. And then after that, I kind of jumped ship and, went 286 and so on and so forth, and never got a chance to look back at the things that I dreamed of when I was 12 and I got my first Commodore 64. When I was doing those type-in programs you would do in magazines, I was just, I didn't know what they meant. I didn't know what any of the stuff I was typing in. What I was really doing, thank you for the sub, Scott. What's going on? Forgot you had Prime. Oh, thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. And I had to watch those stupid ads. They're not stupid. They're great. They're great ads. Thank you for those who watch the ads and support that way. But so I never got a chance to. I was typing in games, but I didn't know what they were doing. Right? I was just typing in stuff. I was just transcribing from the magazine into the computer, and I would get frustrated when things wouldn't work because it was a typo or something. I would get frustrated because there was no way to troubleshoot those typos, because unless it was something super obvious, like that's poke with a with a Q or something, like oh, it's an easily recognizable word that's incorrect, I wouldn't necessarily be able to fix it. And that led me to my passion for getting computers to take my commands and execute them, and if there was a mistake, being able to fix them. And so I made a whole career out of that eventually. Taz says, nah, those ads are stupid. So I made a career out of it, but I never got a chance to really understand what any of it meant, right? I didn't understand how it functioned. I just knew it seemed like magic. And so now that I've had decades of experience in other programming languages and other computers, I want to revisit and understand what I was doing in typing and what it might have been like if I had the skills back then that I have now, and the ability to understand, because I was 12. Pfft. Come on. Not that I wasn't a smart 12-year-old, and not that I couldn't understand it, but I mean, I just didn't have the time to dedicate, and in the what's the motivation? Like, I was motivated, but not like I am now. Object-oriented basic, let's do it. So that's the journey. The journey is that, not making yet another cool streaming podcast, which I love doing. That's something I've also done for the last 20 years. That's been my other love. That and illustration, drawing, making comics. I have a lot of loves. But I like doing it. I don't like to stop. I'm like a shark. Not like vicious, like I'm going to eat you, but like I got to swim. Why? I got to breathe. I can't. That's how I live. I got to keep moving. I'm going to die. Don't eat me. Don't worry. So yeah, that's the journey. But man, it sure is tempting to pull out my old, it's like make show notes, have little segments and stuff. That's right, Discordia. Basic is beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code. You still remember that one? That's right. But yeah, you're back from ads. Welcome in, gentlemen. Another visitor. Stay a while, stay forever. That's one of my favorite lines. Love it so much. So this application doesn't seem to be loading at all. So our low-level Christmas stuff, that's going to be, we think it's written in basic. I don't know. We probably could tear all these D64 down and find out. Tower of Power, 92%. Now, some of these may just be taking that long to load. I wouldn't think a demo would take that long to load, but maybe I'm wrong. I would be curious of what maybe is causing them to fail, and I'll probably look in that eventually. There's a thing about 8-bit computers, man, and 8-bit systems in general. There's some finessing you got to do. This stuff just working out of the box. That's a fairly modern invention. You know, what do you mean? It works? Well, you get something and it just does it. You don't have to, you don't have to like fight it. Whatever. You don't have to pull it out and turn it back off, turn it back on again. We just still do that, don't we? Have you walked through one of those type-in programs here in the club? I have not, but we probably will do some of the short things. Uh-oh. I've actually thought about doing some of the short things in the books, just for fun. But this is the amount of type-in I would have done, back in the day, if not much more. So this is Compute's magazine, the reboot, the one that's now located in Texas and not Greensboro. And this is a reprint of the first issue from last year. I'm looking at getting a new subscription to this because I never subscribed to it because I wanted to see how it went before I did. But the back of a lot of these magazines would be it'd be code, and a lot of these codes it'd be some basic at the front, and then a whole bunch of data calls to basically inject machine language in there, some peeks and pokes maybe. But this looks like it's got some basic. Let's see a bunch of conditionals. See some of their conditionals of the sort, some subroutines. But yeah, you usually it was not unusual to spend 3 or 4 hours just at that time. I was a hunt and pecker, right? Because I was still I hadn't taken any typing classes, and so pages and pages of that could take a good while. So we might do some type-ins, but probably nothing like that. Tolbert says overclock your processor. We could do that. That is definitely a thing that the C64 Ultimate will let us do. I don't know how that works. You would think it would probably work. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get back to our screen here. You can tell we're kind of stuck at this stage, whatever this is. And it also there could be several things that could be causing problems. So even from, I'm not sure how much they took in consideration. So when you click on this and you run disk, it automatically, you'll see the command that comes up. It's going to run at 8.1, and 8.1 loads, I believe the 1, so the 8 indicates the device, and the default device, hey, look here. See, what did I say? Loading stuff back up again. So my theory I was about to spit out was totally wrong. But the 1 means to load it back into the memory to which it was saved from, memory location it was saved from. And we've got, right now, I put, didn't we put the memory expander in there too? So, I mean, if you do it without the 1, then it loads it into available memory, right? Isn't that how it works? I can't remember exactly. But I do have vague memories of that, so that can be an issue. Discordia says if poops equals hard, then print you need fiber or else. So you're gonna write us a food journal, maybe. We should maybe write us a little food journal. I think that's a good idea. What was we doing? Oh yeah, configuration. That's not the one we're looking for. We're looking for this configuration, memory and ROMs. We did put a REU in there. and we are running Jiffy DOS, which shouldn't have a problem, but it could. That one looked like it was loading up pretty fast, so we may just go back to our standard DOS, right? Which is this. And that did load up, by the way, in the kernel. I'm still not 100% sure I'm quite understanding. I thought it loaded into the I don't know, into the I'm wrong, probably, because I don't remember changing out the. You didn't change out when you hooked it. You had a little chip. Did you have to did you pull the kernel ROM out? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. Maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? It's been decades. It's been decades. Calorie trackers make money. That's right. Even you guys got to make the money, right? So let's try it again without the memory expander and with the original ROMs that are in there for the devices. Let's go to the BBS. What do you think? And which one was we trying? Cubic Dream, I believe, was the one. All right, and we're just going to run it again. Use the 8.1, which is going to load it back in memory where it was supposed to be at. Oh, Jen Lindsay to give us a whole thing. We're going to clear the screen on line 10. And then we're gonna cycle through from 1 to 1,000, and then we're gonna poke at the 6. Oh, 646, baby. That's right, 8-Bit Computer Club. Oh, look at you. You just wrote the whole thing. Yeah, good. Yeah. That is valid code. That is valid code. I love it. Look at you. You still remember? Did you pull that right off the top of your head? Been doing it for so long? Did you put your string in front of it? Yeah, you got to put it after. That's one thing that I have to adjust for when I'm doing it, because I'm so used to, variable assignments. And the opposite, lazy cow. It is loading up a lot slower, right? Or get this screen. No more drive activity noise. I don't know if that I think this is playing through on the computer speaker. You guys probably can't hear it. I think I can also choose to route the disk noise. I can route it through the regular speaker, but I don't know. Yes, I'm tempted to get the new release C64. That's what you're using. Yeah, I'm using I've got both. I've got the composite connection too as well. I've got the cable. I think it was like $16 or something. I threw it on. I ended up getting the Commodore 64 Starlight Ultimate Edition. I already have a couple of brown bread boxes, so I said, why don't I do something different? But I'll tell you, I still kind of I should have got the brown. But this is kind of cool. I just wasn't sure. And plus, it's a nice little talking piece. And I was like, oh yeah, look at that. It does that. Yeah, I think if I had to do it again, I'd probably get the classic. But I've already got a couple of Commodore 64s that function that are already brown, and I was like, how does this cause me confusion? Because I'll be like, wait, is that the ultimate? Let me take a little closer look. And I was like, I don't know. Right, and I can't type at night, Tolbert, right? But yeah, you've got your cables back here. You can probably see at the top. I've got a USB. I took the little they send with it a cassette tape style USB, so it looks like a cassette tape, but it's USB. And it's very unwieldy to plug into the back of this unit, so I just instantly transferred all the files. It's just a regular, I think that's a regular old fat 32 formatted, so no copy protection. Just copied it right over, so I did it right away. Then I stored the other for archival purposes. But you see a couple of cables coming out of there. One of them is the HDMI, and the other one on the right hand side is the location that you would usually find the standard video out for the composite. And I have cables out of there. You can run both, so I can plug this into a CRT or a RetroTink 5X or something like that to capture the composite type of feed on the other side. But yeah, I like it. I can't complain. But if I didn't have any more brown bread bin Commodore 64s laying around, I'd probably have gotten the classic. I've been tempted just to order another one. I'm like, come on, Brian. You don't need. You don't need two. What are you gonna do with a second one? Well, then I can type with each hand. I could one on each. Shut up. You don't need to do that. Yeah, I like this one. I didn't care for the gold one. Did you guys see the gold one? I didn't want the gold one. That seemed a bit much. that doesn't seem very computer for the masses to me. You know what I mean? Flying out, what's up? A few years back, I loaded a program into my Apple IIe via the cassette port through a computer. Easier than typing. Right? I've got an Apple. We've brought out a couple of times. They were the first time we did this, your local 8-bit computer club. I had the Atari 800 out. It wasn't the XL. It was just the 800. And we loaded up some stuff because that floppy drive does work as well as the cassette drive. And that's always a good time. They should have swappable covers. I can print some covers actually, Discordia. I got a 3D printer. And there's actually a project for one of the problems with the Starlight Edition is some of them, because the plastic need to be translucent or transparent. What's the word I'm looking for? Is it translucent or transparent? Is it the same thing? That you have too much flex. I am pushing this pretty hard, and I don't feel like that's any more flex than my regular Commodore 64. Maybe more noticeable since it's transparent, but mine personally doesn't seem to suffer from that problem. But I know some people were like, "Oh, it's really, really bouncy," and they made like a print so you could like create a support. Transparent is clear, translucent is frosted. So this is translucent. Did I say translucent at first? Then I'm going to say that I was right. Weremole says the gold one was a bit gaudy. Yeah, and it's like, hey, Jen Lin, same. I just didn't see. I was kind of interested in the keyboard. The keyboard looked pretty cool because it was actually it was most of what the Commodore 64 Ultimate is a amalgamation or a combining of different projects that already existed into one branded Commodore 64, right? So I mean, all the stuff already kind of existed. They just made it where they could mass produce it, or like a small run mass produce of the Commodore 64. So, but the keyboard looked really interesting. Newcomb says, I just see the firmware update on Gideon's site. Link on Discord. Okay, I'll take a look at that. That hopefully will help. Maybe there's some fixes there. Right. But yeah, Jindalin, if I was doing it again, it rhymed. I would definitely probably go with just the basic. By the way, look at this. Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, 1973, baby. This is I got this the other week. This is I think it's from like FYE or something. We went and Audra picked this up for me. I just liked how it looked. And I do like Pink Floyd was like one of the first vinyls I picked up when I decided that I wanted to start, kind of fiddling around with some vinyl again. I remember vinyl growing up because my mom and dad just, they were teenagers when they essentially had me, and so they had a huge record collection of cool stuff. And so some people think that I do. Some people like, oh, what are you trying to do, Brian? Are you trying to find like some kind of nostalgia or something? Are you trying to remember better days? And I'm like, no, I have always been fascinated by old technology, even when I was young. Like, I remember, like, we had cassette tapes and stuff, but I was like, oh, and I love my cassette tapes. I love technology, period. So anything that was current at the time, I wanted it. Like when the CD-ROM came out, the CD music came out, I was like, oh, I want that. But I was also fiddle farting around with vinyl at the time. I loved going into the library, and it's like, okay, you got your modern stuff in here, but you also got your microfiche. And I'd be like in there looking at old magazines and stuff. And like I said, I've always had a fascination with history and technology and popular culture. And I don't want to. I feel like it was always felt like it was very important for me to understand the history to appreciate the modern. And I'm continuing that today. That's what the whole thing is with this thing. It's like I need a frame of reference of how it was. I don't know why. I don't know why that is who I've always been, but it is. But man, I used to love going to the library. If it feels like lost knowledge or something is kind of what I'm like. Oh, no one has seen this information in years, perhaps decades. Everyone's forgotten the old ways. Not that old ways are better, but just some of the old ways stuff. It's like, oh, because it gives you a little vision of dead branches is what I usually think of them as. I'm like, oh yeah, we had a whole branch of something, like, you know, the beta, like beta was a higher quality format, and we gave it away for cheap, affordable, which is great. But also AF, what is that? Is that so like, oh, look at this. Oh, we got like we got a bunch of Sid music in here. Oh, this is fun. Adventure. This is probably my favorite part of the Ultimate 64 is this ability to use the Sid player. You could just load up this thing with Sid files, and it'll play. I'll just turn this on sometimes while I'm doing other things, like around the office, cleaning up, and just rock out. As you can tell, this is created in the year 2011. That's right, little Press hold ya. Retro Tech Romance. I think you can skip through to the next. I forget what the shortcut keys are. No, this is song 1 of 1, so there's only one on this one. Witch Master. Arthur Fortune says, "Whoa, this is my wedding song." If that is real, I would love that. Wouldn't you love that? That's actually a great idea. Oh, we got some Airwolf in the Airwolf mix. Well, we gotta check that. I don't know if Tonda is still lurking, but if Tonda's still lurking, when we play this, I suspect that Tonda will show back up from the next room. What do you think? Yeah, the Airwolf theme song, baby. 8-bitted. No one lurks with the Airwolf. The best theme song. There's Tonda. Assembled in 1989 by Techno 5. Hey, that's pretty late in the 8-bit computer era, right? We will eventually have to get to programming some kind of music. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yes. It is up there with Knight Rider. Arthur says, I can see Stringfellow Hawk playing his cello in his porch by the lake right now. That's right. That's from the pilot, right? It is the music I grew up with too, yep. There's what it says. Load wedding tune, 8,1. Run Trent does some Choplifter. And it goes on for 5 minutes. I'm not sure. I noticed that 5 minutes is where they're usually at. I'm not sure if you have to, if they're trying to fill the entire memory and 5 minutes is what it is. But I've noticed that that's always seems to be what it is. So let's just take a look at this mix real quick. It's 11K. So let's see. Oh, 1980. This is prior. Oh, author Thomas Heinrich, Playboy. Arthur says there was that obsession with advanced helicopters in the 80s. Blue Thunder, Airwolf. Yeah. Oh, I drank from it too, Arthur. Yeah, everybody had one. Magnum, A-Team. Of course, everybody knows my favorite. Riptide. Except it wasn't high tech. It was the opposite. Oh yeah, Coda's Kitten. Yes, absolutely. That would be Discordia Dog. Trying to help us out with those stupid ads. That's pretty hot. Let's see if we can find any more. We got some Alf demo, Alien 3. Oh, so much love here. But I do want to see that they have like an A-Team, any more classic anti-bog tune. That sounds familiar. Another quick demo, American Flag, American Pie. Let's see, Alien 3. Is this like the real Alf? Is that like the theme thing here? Let's just see if it is or not. Oh, this is hot. Listen to that. Hit all the blow notes. Miami Vice. Loved it. Yeah, you know it, Arthur. Riptide with Perry King. That's sexy. I love that. All right, let's go back. Let's oh, I went too far back. A through F. Wait, what? Oh, there's okay. So is there like a next screen or something button that I need to hit? Demos A through F. What am I supposed to do? Is it going to be an F1 kind of thing, or no? That's not it. Is it like a number thing? Is it like a what's the just up and down? Okay. Oh, here's the help menu. Left down. Go one level up. Leave directory. Go one level down. Enter directory. Turn stop. Enter advanced settings. Quick seek. Up, down, down. Left, right. Yeah, I tried left and right. Enter. It says A through F, so it's got to be. How do you go to the next page? F5. That's what I was kind of thinking, like F5, or we got all other things too, like the shift does it. Oh, that just takes us there. Okay, nope, don't want to do that. Audio mixer. That's not right. That's our advanced stuff. That's our system information. No. How do you do it? Alpha Flight intro. What is that? Like, I love Alpha Flight the comic. 19 what? I always love that little jittery noise. I don't know what that is or how they make it, but I love it. Tober saying left, right. BA select start. Oh, the Rock Falls is a banger. It's great. I used to get the magazines with all the ninja crap in them. Never could understand why parents wouldn't let me get Shuriken when I was like 12. Come on, man. Oh, another ad. Come on, man. That's okay. Maybe by the time they get back, we'll have figured this out. What is it? Is it like a control and arrow or something? Or Commodore and arrow? Come on. What's the thing? Mayor McCheese, what's up? Ninja stars were a 12-year-old's dream. Yeah, they were. Come on. What's the deal? Am I going to have to read this whole help? Up, down, left, right. To go one level up, to go one level down. Enter directory or disk. Return selected context menu. Leave menu. Action. Up, down. Show system information. Select file directory. Paste selection. Enter home directory. Scordia. I need to go find some of his movies that might be. Oh, yes. Go find some of those. And let us know about it. outside the menus can reset by holding the switch up for 1 second. Run stop to close it. What the poop? I know we can see more, but how? Grams Senior, Carrot Tune, Tupac intro. I'm in. Give me some Tupac on an 8-bit Tupac. Inner Ninja is amazing. Need some gorillas. That would be amazing. I have a good bit of some really good squawky farts. Squeaky farts, says Tonda. I have a good bit of, I think I have at least maybe a third to a half of the Gorillaz discography on vinyl. Man, I wish I knew how to get to the next page, though. I know there's more because it says A through F, so I'm assuming down here is G through L, so we can at least go down there. Nothing. There's nothing. Maybe they haven't finished. Maybe there is nothing else, because look, there's nothing in these further directories. Maybe somebody started and got lazy. What? Do they have the Outrun music? They do. I don't know. Oh, what is the Matrix? Oh my gosh. How do you do that? What is the Matrix? So it looks like maybe... Did I put that on there? Maybe I put that on there and I never finished uploading it. Because I had some SID files. Could this be my fault? Could I be the problem? It is possible. What is my Walgreens account password? Does anybody know that? All right. Hey, look. Hey, look. If you're not on the Discord server, why not? So join the Discord server so we can talk more. Here's the link there. So join the Discord server. Look for the 8-bit Computer Club. Check that out. I'm also going to post it over here on YouTube's in case you don't have it. So there's that. So just go over there and join the Discord server, and so you can keep up with our latest projects and share your own projects. We'll be talking about that throughout the week. I'm still trying to learn more about the Commodore 64 and how it handles sprites. And I'm working towards a working prototype, at least, or of some sort, by the end of the year. We really got to start solidifying it. Restreambot just got his wrist slapped. Take that. So yeah, and if you've got 8-bit projects you're interested in, let us know, or join back next week. Bring your work with you. Share some links. Share your experiences. If you've got your own things you're working on project wise, whether it be software or hardware repairs or hardware modifications, send us some. Just give us some. Let us know what it is. Had a message, sorry. You need a damn data analysis mentor, says Discordia. I love working prototypes. The non-working ones kind of suck. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. I want at least to be kind of fun, right? So yeah, and so I'm having a good time with this local 8-bit Computer Club. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight, and wait until you see all the coolness that is that Jaguar. For the Play Retro Show, which you do on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. But that's about all the old business I got. So let's see who's out there to rate it. If you want more real 8-bit computer action, that girl Joey is playing some stuff right now, Fallout 3. She does a lot of things on Monday nights with the Amiga, so that is a lot of fun. I've always wanted an Amiga as well. That's on my list of stuff to get, by the way. So if you got a line on an Amiga A500 or an A1000, let me know. I would be interested in looking at something like that. But let's give a shout out to our good friend Tonda Gasa, who I haven't given out any shout outs tonight. What am I even doing? So let's give out a shout out to Tonda Gasa, a great retro streamer and a very good friend, a great friend as well. I don't want to use great twice in a row, but it fits. It fits. So a great friend, Tonda Gasa, who I will get to see again very shortly in a couple of months. Looking forward to it. Give Tonda Gasa a follow. Great retro streamer, has inspired me to play a lot of games that I didn't even know existed, and also was a huge influence on getting into the FPGA areas, and also instrumental at getting me to the next level on pinball, because I no good at pinball. I getting better, but no good. I know, Discord, I wish you were going too. And thank you so much for being the hero tonight and giving out those community subs so that we don't have to, so those people didn't have to watch the ads. Well, hopefully there's an update. We had heard earlier there might be an update coming out that might help fix that. So there we go. Thank you for sharing your projects. Thank you for sharing your stories. And we'll have to get back together again next Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll do more 8-bit stuff. And what else did I have? I think that's about it. Yeah. Ron Tredeton, thank you so much. We'll have to have a call in show we'll have to do a call in show too. And we'll probably maybe get you guys, get some community stuff on the Discord server. At least one or two people can talk and maybe share some stories with us. But right now we're going to raid in on our good friend, that girl Joey. She raids in on us often, so we have some community that crosses over. She's a great streamer. She's always working on, she usually works on real hardware, especially on Monday nights. I know she does that. She also does, I think on Saturdays, does some requests and things. But tune in tomorrow, because I think Tonda's going to be doing his request stuff too. Is that what you're doing it on Saturdays? But let's raid in on that girl Joey. I'll see you over there just for a couple of minutes, and then I got to hit the road myself. And help the family out with some stuff. So there you go. Thank you, Houdini7. Thank you, Tonda. Descent 3 tomorrow. Oh, that's been fun watching. I've been watching. I've been lurking on that one. All right. And if you just want to lurk, just come lurk. Captain Kipper, I missed it. No, it's okay. We're back again next week too. I'll be back probably Sunday night. I'll be back Sunday night. All right, let's raid in. Here we go.